What tips would you say, to help someone that's just like, okay, I'm not as creative as that? Like, is there some tips that you have, like a process of how you get started?
First of all, there's like no, easy button. There's no step-by-step process. I would say first off, I go to the property, obviously. I immerse myself in it. I look at the details. I talk to the sellers, like what are the special hot buttons that you wouldn't know about unless you actually lived in the home. Like, what do they really love about living in the home? So I get to know them and the house during our listing appointment. And then, obviously location. I always try and find a theme that I will just run with it. Like this last house I'm about to launch, it's close to the Falcons training center. So this house has a theme of like football games, the Atlanta Falcons team. So I try and find a theme, and then it takes me twice as long probably as most agents to write these property descriptions. It's not, you're not going to do it in 1 hour. I usually do it in 2 days. So it's a commitment, but I look at it as an opportunity to, not just market the listing, but I'm marketing myself like all over Zillow, all over the internet. So pro tip number 1, start with the hook. Set the scene. The first 2 sentences are really important because that's going to determine whether they read the rest of the description. So just craft those and create something that piques their interest, especially in those first 2 sentences. Another pro tip, use language, use adjectives that you normally wouldn't use when describing a house. Like in this McClatchy ranch, I called it mysterious, dark and mysterious, so instead of saying beautiful or gorgeous, I'm totally guilty of saying those words too, but try and use adjectives that are a little bit out of the ordinary. Paint a picture with your words. A lot of times, another pro tip, I write in the second person, so when they're reading it, they can feel like they're a part of the narrative. Another thing to keep in mind is figure out who your client avatar is for this particular property. Like, is it a millennial with money? Like that is my particular client avatar. I'm marketing to millennials with money all over social media, and that's who I'm attracting. So, figure out, is it the baby boomers? And don't always have to be funny. I've written some really fun property descriptions that are more serious and put off a more romantic vibe, if you will. So it doesn't always have to be funny. And you can still describe features of the home. I just think so many agents get caught up in like, oh, I have to make sure that I mention, the granite countertops or the stainless steel. People can see that stuff in the picture. So why don't you point out some other things that they wouldn't notice unless they were actually in the house? And then you can even turn, like with this particular description, I turned the big ass pool into a character. And it was a theme throughout the write-up, if that makes sense.